Hi, it's Sharon from SharonTheReader.com. This is about something that I noticed about 3 weeks ago on a separate website, which had nothing whatsoever to do with channeling or tarot or anything. But it was something that kind of made me think. You've often heard me talking about kindness in the past. And this really is throwing it out to you what you think about this particular situation. I'm not saying what website it came from. I'm not making any comments that are personal to the person or the persons. This lady had a patisserie and she had grown it up from the ground up, which takes money. And you don't walk into that type of business unless money is behind you somewhere. She is inclined to come in and out of this site, and now and again she'll post different things. There's always posts from people who like her work, people who appreciate her cakes, buns, whatever. And every now and again she'll post, but it is used as a channel, I suppose, that promotes her work. What happened was this other young girl came in and she asked would it be possible at all to do an interview with this girl, the girl who owned the patisserie. And what really got me was the reply. And the reply went something like, I get about a dozen of these requests each month, and I really don't have time for this. I don't have time to be able to do this for you. She did wish her luck in the project. And I kind of thought, but I knew, and I know, and it's known, that this person is in lockdown, as we all are. Her business is continuing, but she herself is not on the premises. She's making videos instead and doing other things. And I suppose if you have a business, that's exactly what you're going to be doing, is running your business as best you can. But I thought the dozen requests per month was kind of a little bit egotistical. And it was, I'll come onto this forum, I'll post on it occasionally, and I'll give you people the benefit of how, for instance, I make the best brownies. So I thought to myself, how do I feel about that? Okay? I looked at it two different ways. One, she is a well-known person in the world of patisseries. If you wanted an interview, you could maybe do something like 10 questions, off the bat, fast. You would have that interview. You can pad it out, you can present it. Or you can just simply let it go. I think the person did let it go, but what came in afterwards was quite interesting. Other people were coming in with things like, I have a friend who has the same type of store. I'm sure I could get you an interview with them. And they were more than helpful, and these were just ordinary members of the site. And then I thought to myself, okay, you've got to look at it two ways. If you're running a business, you're busy. You may not have time to do that. In that sense, you're kind of off the hook because you're taking care of your own business. You're taking care of the running of it. You're taking care of your workers, the different things you do. You're making videos. People are interested in what you're saying. Let's put the person off the hook there. Okay? Bear in mind that the one thing that really, really got to me was when the person who had the patisserie said, I get about probably a dozen requests like this every month, and I can't possibly do them. So that was the thing that irked me as a person. Now, let's look at the other side. Why did that young girl feel that if she got a kind of celebrity, because that's all you could call this person, a kind of celebrity, it would make her work more valuable to the people who were marking it, who may never have heard of this person in their life? You know, this is a specialised area we're talking about. Why was it so important to have someone who was a celebrity? That would have made it better. That would have given you more in your thesis. What would you have got? You would have got a name, is what you would have got. You may have got more information, although doubtful, I would say, than you would get from the person or the people who came in afterwards and said, well, my friend, and they were being really helpful, I believe would help you out here, because they run exactly the same business, and I can actually contact them for you. So the person who would have been contacted, who could give the same content, I would think, was not the person that the other person went after. The young girl decided, no, I don't think so. Because the person who said, I can give you someone, and I think they'd be willing to do it, I'll speak to them for you, they didn't take the person up on that offer. I thought it was actually a very good offer, to be honest with you. So it does make you look at what celebritism is today. And it seems to be way out of control. Because today everybody's a celebrity. It's not people who are stars. It's not people who do great music. It's not people who make great movies. It's not people who make great art. It's people who are willing to put themselves right out there and, use every form of social media to get their name out there. Use a website, go onto it, have your own little thing, and post every now and again, and make videos. It does leave you in the dilemma of why such a need for celebrities? What would that add to someone's work? If you're handing in a thesis, what difference does it make if it's a celebrity telling you how to make brownies, or if it's a person who knows exactly what they do and they'll tell you, and they will not make you feel as if you're really asking for something that's out of your league? And there's the two sides, and I was trying to weigh the both of them up. Who has, I wouldn't say the right. The right always remains with the person. The right to ask the question remains with the person. The right to refuse remains with the person. It just made me look at what celebritism is. And the one thing that struck me was, and at one time, that person would not have had 2 pennies in their pocket, really, if that makes sense. And it's admirable that they worked their way up to where they did. But you don't make money with 2 pennies in your pocket. You have to have backing for that. You have to have someone who has enough belief in you. Even if it's a family member, you have to have someone who will back you financially while you open your first business. It's an impossible thing to do on its own. It's completely impossible. So let's get that out of the way. And the comment I put in was, I think it went along the line of, I hope people were kinder to the woman who opened her own patisserie than she has been to the person who's asking the question, which was for the interview. And you really do wonder, has the world gone slightly mad? What is celebritism? What does it mean to you? I'll tell you just a very quick, interesting, stupid thing, and it is stupid, that happened to me today. And that is the second day of the hairdresser's opening. And I thought, yeah, I really need to get my hair cut because it's completely out of style. It's just ridiculous looking. So I went in, and there's one guy who always does my hair. And you can't make an appointment. You just go in, you wait. And I asked for him, and they said, oh, yes, he's down the back. And they were really busy. And I went over and I said to him, can you possibly do my hair today? And he says, yeah. He says, take a seat, in the garden. And I says, grand. And when the time came, and it was him, and he did cut my hair. And he did it exactly the way I like it done. And he always does. That's one thing I can guarantee. He always cuts it exactly the way I want it. Now, there's a hairdresser. I don't consider him a celebrity. But knowing that he knew the style that I usually wear, knowing that he's always cut it for me, the bonus was, I got the cut I wanted from the person I wanted it from. Not because he's a celebrity, because I find him a pretty good hairdresser. In fact, I find him an excellent hairdresser. But I don't see him posting on YouTube. I don't see anything on the internet about him. So what is it with a name? And then what does a name do when it goes to your head? And my feeling was, if the girl who owned the patisserie had have said, I am really sorry, I can't help you, but if you throw in 10 questions, I will endeavour to answer them as best I can. Just give me a week or so. It could be done so easily. But the fact that you put it out there, I'm asked to do this 12 times a month, or is it a week? Pretty sure it was a week. What you're really saying is, I'm above that. I'm beyond the rest of you. You're buying my products. Absolutely. You're keeping me exactly where I need to be in business. And what's more, I want my business to grow further. So I'm using every possible method, which is good business, by the way. But at what cost is your good business to the person on the street who's buying your product? If you can't take the time to be at least mannerly enough to even try and help a person. And if you're getting a request 12 times per week to ask how your brownies are, how you do your whatever it is, I'm using brownies all the time, and it's something I really hate the taste of, but it wasn't brownies. Anyway, back to the point. If you're getting that many questions from 12 people every week, why not do one video that takes in probably maybe 10 questions across the board and throw it out there, put it out to the people who want to know? I think that would be a better way of doing it than kind of like, I wouldn't say insulting, but to put it right out there to a person publicly. We could all read it. I don't have the time. I'm too busy. I just wonder how busy this girl was when she was actually building her business up. I bet she wasn't too busy to ask for help financially. I bet she wasn't too busy to go in and do the work. I also bet she wasn't too busy to be polite to the bank manager. And I bet she wasn't too busy when she went to pick the premises she was renting. So, strange as it is, and I always said, my website is not all about channeling. It's what I do. But I also view the world around me and what's happening and how I see it. And sometimes I think, and I'm very guilty of it too, sometimes I think we don't see what's going on around us because no one points it out. Or maybe if you're on YouTube, too many people point it out. But either way, that was my impression, was it was not the right way of handling something. Because we're all human beings. We're all in the process of being, learning, whatever. And if you can do for another person something that's going to help them, and you can do it, then do it. And if you can't, then at least be kind in your refusal. Say, I wish you well. My suggestion would be that you go to, mention other people who are in the business, or as happened, where people came in and said, my friend is in the same business, they would help. I do believe if I were to ask, I think they would help. So at the end of the day, that's celebritism. I'll never always just channel, because there's the world that's there and there's the world that we live in. And remember, the people that I channel come from the world, or came from the world, that we live in today. Should it be 50 years back? Should it be 20 years back? They still live in exactly the same world that we do. So that's just my thoughts. I would ask you for yours, but I will honestly say, sometimes it's time to take a look around you and see where kindness is, and see how you feel about it. So, I'm just going to say the usual, but before I say the usual, I'm going to say one thing. There is a Michael Jackson video coming up. It's not finished yet with me. I haven't got all the things that I need to hear from him, because there's different questions I want to ask him. But when I get around to finishing those questions, then what I will do is I'll put that video out. So until then, stay safe, be healthy, look after yourselves, look after each other, and take care. God bless. Bye.